Welcome to quiz class. I'm Ellen, your host. Let's start our 100 question general knowledge quiz. Let's go to number 1. Which Greek city is known to be the birthplace of democracy? Athens, Thessaloniki, or Rhodes? Athens. Who wrote The Masque of the Red Death? William Shakespeare, Edgar Allan Poe, or Herman Melville? Edgar Allan Poe. Which flower is known as the queen of flowers? Rose, tulips, or chrysanthemum? The rose. Which island is considered the deadliest as its occupants refuse to make contact with the world outside their self-imposed isolation? Ilha da Queimada Grande, Bikini Atoll Island, or North Sentinel Island? North Sentinel Island. What term refers to any word, phrase, or sentence that remains the same even when written backwards? Mnemonic, palindrome, or anagram? Palindrome. The Schindler's List is a 1993 movie directed by whom? Steven Spielberg, Tim Burton, or Paul Anderson? Steven Spielberg. Which art movement is known for its emphasis on geometric shapes and primary colors? Cubism, pop art, or de style? De style. The Great Barrier Reef is located in which ocean? Atlantic, Pacific, or Indian? The Pacific Ocean. On October 4th, 1957, what was the name of the Earth's first artificial satellite that was launched by the Soviet Union? Saryl, Aryabhata, or Sputnik 1? Sputnik 1. The famous painting, The Presence of Memory, was painted by whom? Salvador Dali, Michelangelo, or Johannes Vermeer? Salvador Dali. What do the points on the Statue of Liberty's crown represent? The seas and continents, the wonders of the world, or the number of nations allied to the U.S.? The seas and continents. Which mountain range is the longest in the world? The Himalayas, the Alps, or the Andes? The Andes. Which gas do humans breathe out during respiration? Oxygen, carbon dioxide, or carbon monoxide? Carbon dioxide. Which countries share the longest border? Canada and US, Russia and Kazakhstan, or Chile and Argentina? Canada and the US. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Soviet Union was led by whom? Joseph Stalin, Sergei Korolev or Nikita Khrushchev? Nikita Khrushchev. Which king was forced by his rebelling barons to sign the Magna Carta, which aims to address issues of royal abuses and establish certain principles limiting the monarch's power? King John, King William I, or King Henry II? King John. Who was the first democratically elected president of South Africa post-apartheid? Teodoro Mbasago, Thabo Mbeki, or Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela. Which Chinese emperor was known for his terracotta army? Tang Taizong, Jin Shi Huang, or Shuang Shu? Qin Shi Huang. Mount Kilimanjaro is found in which African country? Kenya, Uganda, or Tanzania? Tanzania. Which European country is the smallest based on land area? Vatican City, Vienna, or Venice? Vatican City. Who was the Egyptian queen who was known for her relationship with both Julius Caesar and Mark Antony? Nefertiti, Cleopatra, or Hatshepsut? Cleopatra. The Machu Picchu, a famous citadel located in the eastern Cordillera of southern Peru, was built by which ancient civilization? Sumerian, Mayan, or Incan? Incan. Which pivotal event is often considered to mark the start of World War II? Russia's victory in Stalingrad, Bulgaria's surrender, or Germany's invasion of Poland? The invasion of Poland. Which Roman emperor declared war on the god of the seas and ordered his soldiers to stab the sea? Augustus Caesar, Caligula, or Nerva? Caligula. The successful circumnavigation of the world was attributed to which famous explorer? Christopher Columbus, Amerigo Vespucci, or Ferdinand Magellan? Ferdinand Magellan. Which country did Great Britain win the Opium War against? China, France, or Taiwan? China. Which legislation enacted in the U.S. provided financial assistance for public school construction? The HEA, the ESEA, or the NDEA? The NDEA, National Defense Education Act. Harper Lee, a famous novelist, wrote which book? To Kill a Mockingbird, The Goldfinch, or The Mockingjay? To Kill a Mockingbird. Which historical structure was built to symbolize an emperor's love for his favorite wife who died in 1631? Giza Necropolis, the Blue Mosque, or the Taj Mahal? The Taj Mahal. Which African country gained its independence during the 1950s? Angola, Madagascar, or Ghana? Ghana. What was Vasco da Gama known for? Sailing from Europe to Asia by rounding Africa's Cape of Good Hope, discovered the Spice Island, or successfully navigated and crossed the Pacific Ocean? Sailing from Europe to Asia, rounding Africa's Cape of Good Hope. The First Opium War took place in what year? 1839, 1846, or 1823? 1839. Which of Homer's famous epic poem focuses on the Trojan War? The Odyssey, the Iliad, or the Aeneid? The Iliad. Which Roman emperor orchestrated the Great Fire of Rome, persecuted Christians, and killed his relatives? Nero, Augustus, or Nerva? Nero. In what year did Sandra Day O'Connor become the first female U.S. Supreme Court Justice? 1982, 1981, or 1971? 1981. What was the name of the first video game developed in 1958? Tetris, Tennis for Two, or Solomon's Club? Tennis for Two. Chuck Yeager was known for achieving which feat? The first man to fly faster than the speed of sound, the first man to fly more than 487 types of aircraft, or the first man to be credited for 80 air combat victories? The first man to fly faster than the speed of sound. Edith Wharton was the first woman to receive a Pulitzer Prize for which field? Science, literature, or philosophy? Literature. In what year did Joan Benoit win in the first women's Olympic marathon? 1973, 1995, or 1984? 1984. Who developed the very first successful vaccine and for which disease? Kitasato Shibasaburo diphtheria, Edward Jenner smallpox, or Jonas Salk polio? Edward Jenner smallpox. Approximately how many years did it take to finish the construction of the Great Wall of China? 2,000 years, 3,000 years, or more than 5,000 years? More than 2,000 years. In mythology, what was the famous tactic used by the Greeks in invading the Troy Empire? The spreading of deadly virus, the walking forest, or the Trojan horse? The Trojan horse. What is the name of the mountain where the bodies of previous hikers are said to be used as landmarks? Mount Whitney, Mount Kilimanjaro, or Mount Everest? Mount Everest. Who invented the pager? David Alter, Al Gross, or Amos Dolbear? Al Gross. In what year was the pager introduced to the public? 1974, 1921, or 1958? 1974. What is the name of the English inventor who was credited for conceiving the first automatic digital computer? Dennis Ritchie, Charles Babbage, or Alan Turing? Charles Babbage. In the legend of Sleepy Hollow, Ichabod Crane encountered the Headless Horseman. What was their occupation? Musician, farmer, or school teacher? School teacher. What is the main responsibility of the United Nations? To provide safety for refugees, to maintain international peace and security, or to provide international military assistance? To maintain international peace and security. Who is the father of modern politics, modern political science, as well as the author of The Prince? Machiavelli, Thomas Hobbes, or Jean-Jacques Rousseau? Niccolo Machiavelli. Which political ideology advocates for the abolition of private property and the establishment of a classless society? Communism, anarchism, or libertarian socialism? Communism. The Battle of Iwo Jima took place during which conflict? World War I, World War II, or the Cold War? World War II. This military strategy wears down an opponent through sustained attacks and gradual advances. Is it manipulation, attrition, or exhaustion? Attrition. He formulated the laws of motion and universal gravitation and received the title of Father of Modern Physics. Who is he? Einstein, Galileo Galilei, or Isaac Newton? Isaac Newton. Bob Marley was known for being associated with which genre of music? Reggae, jazz, or blues? Reggae. Tchaikovsky is known for composing which ballet? The Nutcracker, Giselle, or Daphne et Chloe? The Nutcracker. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band was released on which year? 1957, 67, or 87? 1967. Dadaism emphasizes the idea of the concept of the artwork rather than the aesthetic values. Who was this associated with? Dali, Duchamp, or Michelangelo? Marcel Duchamp. Which of Juan Luna's paintings depicts the suffering the Filipinos went through during the Spanish reign? Blood Impact, España y Filipinas, or Spolarium? Spolarium. What is the term for a system of government in which citizens have the power to make political decisions either directly or through elected representatives? Democracy, authoritarianism, or republic? Democracy. Who patented the first liquid soap in 1865? William Shepard, Madam C.J. Walker, or Philo Farnsworth? William Shepard. Semper Paratus, which means always ready, is the motto used by which U.S. military branch? The Coast Guards, the Navy, or the Air Force? The Coast Guard. This art movement is characterized by images inspired by the subconscious mind. Surrealism, pointillism, or abstract? Surrealism. The famous statue of David found in Florence, Italy was sculpted by whom? Donatello, Pablo Picasso, or Michelangelo? Michelangelo. The Warsaw Pact alliance consists of which countries? United States and their allied states, Southeast Asian allied nations, or the Soviet Union and 7 other Soviet satellite states? Soviet Union and 7 other Soviet satellite states. Who is famous for Campbell's soup cans, who is also a leading figure in the pop art movement? Andy Warhol, Jackson Pollock, or Pablo Picasso? Andy Warhol. What did they term the ideological barrier that was erected by the USSR after World War II to isolate Europe and its dependent countries from Russian and Western influence? The Great Wall, Iron Curtain, or Iron Gates? The Iron Curtain. Who delivered the Iron Curtain in Fulton, Missouri back in 1946? Winston Churchill, Harry Truman, or Ronald Reagan? Winston Churchill. The mutual assured destruction is a military and political doctrine and strategy which states that a nuclear attack by one would be met with an overwhelming retaliation, a country that attacks another will be met with an attack from allies, or the use of nuclear power will be permitted for annihilation. A nuclear attack by one would be met with overwhelming retaliation. Why did Japan bomb Pearl Harbor? To destroy a U.S. base, to cripple and slow down the U.S. forces, or to force the U.S. to surrender Pearl Harbor? To cripple and slow down the U.S. forces and allow Japan to invade. What was the top secret U.S. government program which developed and deployed the atomic bombs before Nazi Germany during World War II? The Missouri, the Manhattan, or the Alsos Project? The Manhattan Project. During World War II, the Holocaust led by the Nazis, Germany aimed to cripple Allied forces, invade Poland, or kill a specific race. To systematically kill a specific race. Which ancient civilization was conquered by Francisco Pizarro? The Mayan Empire, the Inca Empire, or the Sumer Empire? The Inca Empire. The Treaty of Tordesillas divides the newly discovered lands between which countries? Spain and Portugal, Spain and France, or Portugal and France? Spain and Portugal. Which vessel did Ferdinand Magellan command during his expedition and discovery of the Philippines? Trinidad, San Antonio, or Concepcion? Trinidad. How many years was the Philippines colonized by Japan? 5, 20, or 3 years? Three years. What is the name of the river located in China dubbed the Mother River and is considered to be the longest river in Asia? Xizang River, Yangtze River, or the Weiqi River? The Yangtze River. Mount Everest is part of which famous mountain range? The Himalayas, the Andes, or the Atlas? The Himalayas. The Pearl of Puerto is currently the largest pearl and is found in which country? The Philippines, Australia, or China? The Philippines. What type of pearl is often called the Rolls-Royce of pearls? Cultured freshwater pearls, South Sea pearls, or Baroque pearls? South Sea pearls. The bamboo incubator was invented by which Filipino pediatrician? Abelardo Aguilar, Honoria Acosta Sison, or Del Mundo? Del Mundo. The systematic genocide of a specific race done by the Nazis and their collaborators was known as the Holocaust, Wunderwaffe, or Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg. The Holocaust. The Allied invasion of Normandy, codename Operation Overlord, was launched in what year? 1944, 1964, or 1834? 1944. Which country is known to be the largest supplier of nurses? Thailand, the Philippines, or China? The Philippines. The Renaissance period originated from which Italian city? Florence, Milan, or Venice? Florence. Which Western composer is known as the father of the symphony and the father of the string quartet? Bach, Beethoven, or Franz Joseph Haydn? Franz Joseph Haydn. For 333 years, which country did the Spanish Empire colonize? The Philippines, Ecuador, or Cuba? The Philippines. The Baroque architectural style is characterized by elaborate ornaments, curved structures, and theatrical style, pointed arches, or steep roofs, pointed arches, and elaborate Gothic-style trimming. Elaborate ornaments, curved structures, and theatrical style. Which Greek philosopher wrote the Republic, which served as one of the foundations of political philosophy? Aristotle, Plato, or Socrates? Plato. Confucius, a Chinese philosopher, is known for his teachings on ethics, good behavior, and morality, separating from worldly desires, or finding one's inner peace. Ethics, good behavior, and morality. Which author wrote Beyond Good and Evil and is known for his critiques of morality and religion? Alasdair MacIntyre, Immanuel Kant, or Friedrich Nietzsche? Friedrich Nietzsche. Which agreement focuses on mitigating climate change? The Paris Agreement, the Versailles Agreement, or the Escazú Agreement? The Paris Agreement. Which country launched an initiative that aims to enhance infrastructure and economic connectivity? Korea, Japan, or China? China. Which country is a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council and possesses veto power? Philippines, Russia, or Thailand? Russia. Who invented and tested the very first geothermal power plant in Larderello, Italy? Prince Conti, Louis le Prince, or Prince Adalberto of Bergamo? Prince Conti. The discussion between the leaders of the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union, known as the Yalta Conference, was held in what year? 1955, 45, or 65? 1945. During which battle campaign did the Bataan Death March take place? World War I, World War II, or the Cold War? World War II. Which of Shakespeare's famous plays depicts an aging king who divided his kingdom to his 3 daughters only to end in tragedy? King Lear, Henry VIII, or Richard III? King Lear. Which planet currently has the largest number of moons? Neptune, Jupiter, or Saturn? Saturn. Which empire did the art of mummification originate? Ancient Persia, Ancient Egyptian, or Ancient Babylon? Ancient Egyptian. Which of Herman Melville's books is based on a sunken ship in Essex? Billy Budd, Omo, or Moby Dick? Moby Dick. And bonus question. What English word retains the same pronunciation even after you take away 4 of its 5 letters? Let us know the answer in the comments. Thanks for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you next time.